Heads of State 2025 throws together two of the most unlikely heroes imaginable: the newly elected U.S. President Will Derringer, John Cena, and the British Prime Minister Sam Clarke, Idris Elba, and forces them to cooperate when their plane is shot down and they're hunted by a powerful global conspiracy. What begins as a public relations nightmare quickly becomes a high-stakes run-for-your-life thriller full of explosions, betrayals, and reluctant alliances. The film explores themes of leadership under pressure, unlikely friendship, personal responsibility, and the absurdities and dangers of unchecked ambition. The narrative starts with a diplomatic mission gone wrong. After a covert CIA MI6 operation to apprehend a Russian arms dealer named Viktor Gradov ends abruptly in disaster, the criminals acquire access to Echelon, an encrypted global surveillance network. Meanwhile, President Derringer, a former Hollywood action movie star turned politician, arrives for a state visit to London to meet Prime Minister Clarke. The two have little use for each other. Derringer is brash, charismatic, outward-facing, flamboyant, relying heavily on celebrity and populism. Clarke is a reserved former soldier turned public servant, disciplined, cynical, and deeply skeptical of Derringer's showmanship. Their mutual animosity is publicly aired during a press conference, illustrating not only diplomatic tension, but the clash of two very different styles of leadership and identity. The decision is made to fly both leaders together to an upcoming NATO summit, a symbolic gesture meant to show unity. But en route, Air Force One is attacked by Gradov's operatives. The crash strands Derringer and Clarke in enemy territory. Their security detail is wiped out, leaving them without protection, forced into hiding and on the run. At that moment, their relationship shifts from antagonism to necessity. Survival depends on them working together. What follows is an international chase. The two, aided by MI6 agent Noel Bissett, Priyanka Chopra, must navigate betrayals, a complex network of conspirators, and shifting loyalties. As they dodge hired killers, corrupt officials, and false leads, Derringer and Clarke gradually discover that their common ground lies not just in their titles, but in their choice to act, to protect innocent lives and confront evil, even when it means putting themselves at risk. Their reluctant alliance evolves into mutual respect, and eventually a form of camaraderie. This arc, from adversaries to reluctant allies, and finally to a kind of friendship forged under fire, forms the emotional backbone of the film. The action sequences are loud, blistering, and often absurd in the best sense. High-speed chases, hand-to-hand fights, gunplay, and dramatic set-pieces recall the over-the-top action comedies of the 1990s, updated with modern cinematography and pacing. Director Ilya Naishuller, known for the visceral action of Nobody, brings kinetic energy and stylized violence, but balances it with comedic timing and playful banter. What stands out is not just the spectacle, but the chemistry between Cena and Elba. Cena's chaotic, larger-than-life energy fits Derringer's show-business-turned-presidential persona, while Elba grounds Clarke with a dry wit, weary pragmatism, and restrained menace. Their dynamic feels like a buddy movie of mismatched personalities. Two men who hate each other at first, but whose survival depends on learning how to trust and lean on one another. On a deeper level, Heads of State offers a satirical reflection on modern politics, celebrity, and power. Derringer's election, based more on charm and public persona than competence, echoes real-world concerns about celebrity politics. Clarke's frustration and cynicism mirrors a disenchantment with political spectacle. The film doesn't shy away from depicting how fragile alliances can be, how easily media and image can overshadow substance. Yet it doesn't wallow in cynicism. Instead, it opts for a kind of escapist redemption. Individuals who decide to act responsibly, even when their own credentials are questionable, can make a difference. Heroism, in this sense, becomes less about titles or rhetoric and more about choice, solidarity, and moral courage when stakes are high. Of course, this lens of seriousness is balanced, often undercut, by absurdity, humor, and slapstick. The film acknowledges its own preposterousness. Sometimes, plot twists stretch plausibility, e.g., improbable survival after explosions, rapid-fire betrayals and last-minute rescues, but the tone willingly embraces stupid fun, confident that energy, pace, and charisma will carry the ride. Critics note that the story isn't deep, and realism is not the point. It's about indulging in cinematic catharsis, adrenaline, and absurd escapism. Thematically, the film underscores the importance of personal accountability, cooperation across national and ideological lines, and the possibility of redemption even for flawed characters. Derringer and Clark start out as emblematic stereotypes, the flashy populist versus the stiff establishment politician, but they evolve, learning that what unites them is not party or nationality, but values: protecting innocent people, confronting injustice, and reclaiming integrity. Their journey becomes a metaphor for bridging division, for choosing unity over division in times of crisis. Plot-wise, the chaotic path leads them to expose a betrayal at the heart of their own system. The conspiracy involves not just foreign arms dealers, but corrupted insiders, culminating in a tense showdown at a NATO summit. The betrayal forces the protagonists to question who they can trust, not just in foreign adversaries, but within their own governments. Their decision to act, even when loyalty is uncertain, becomes a testament to personal ethics over blind patriotism. In terms of cinematic impact, Heads of State delivers what it advertises: explosive action, witty exchanges, star charisma, and a simple but effective moral arc. The film succeeds as a summertime popcorn blockbuster, trading subtlety for spectacle, depth for deliverance, but doing so with style. For viewers willing to suspend disbelief and enjoy the ride, it offers a cathartic fusion of action, humor, and, surprisingly, a genuine humanizing of two powerful figures forced to confront mortality, fear, and the consequences of leadership under fire. Whether you walk away thinking about global politics or just wanting to turn up the volume and enjoy wild stunts, Heads of State leaves a mark as a film unafraid to be loud, irreverent, and, when it counts, oddly optimistic about the capacity for cooperation, even at the highest levels.